Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the absolute most fascinating and honestly misunderstood subjects on our entire planet. We are venturing right into the shadows of the Green Abyss, which is really the Earth's largest unexplored frontier. Together, we're going to peel back the layers of the Amazon rainforest to uncover lost civilizations, some crazy geographic anomalies, and, well, literal biological nightmares. 6.7 million. We're talking 6.7 million square kilometers, or over 2 million square miles of incredibly dense, almost impenetrable jungle. I mean, it's practically a green ocean. And the sheer staggering scale of that number is exactly why science is really only just now beginning to truly understand what's actually out there. See, for decades, we kind of had this entirely wrong. The mainstream assumption was that this endless green sea was just this untamed wilderness, completely empty of any complex human civilizations. But the reality? Hidden beneath that thick emerald canopy are natural anomalies, bizarre biological horrors, and actual, literal, lost worlds. The Amazon was never an empty canvas. Section 1. The Canopy. LiDAR and Lost Civilizations. So, how are we finding all this? Well, airborne LiDAR technology is completely changing the game. It essentially acts as an X-ray for the jungle in 3 steps. First, they shoot millions of laser pulses from above, completely penetrating the dense leaves. Second, all that data is used to digitally strip away the jungle foliage. And finally, the result reveals these incredible 3D structures that have literally been hiding beneath the canopy all along. And the discoveries LiDAR has revealed? They are mind-bending. We aren't just talking about a couple of scattered huts here. We're looking at massive geometric earthworks, ancient pyramids, complex causeways, and these sprawling, interconnected cities. These were hidden right in plain sight. Millions of people once thrived in these highly advanced urban centers. But they didn't just build, right? They engineered their environment. This brings us to Terra Preta, which is an engineered, super fertile soil created by these ancient civilizations. And what makes it a true mystery is that it somehow mysteriously renews itself, even centuries later. It leaves us with this massive, totally unsolved question. How on earth did an empire this huge, with pyramids and self-renewing agriculture, just vanish without a trace on the surface? Section 2. The Ground. Chinay Timpishka and the Boiling River. Deep in the Mayan Tuyacu forest of Peru, there's a geological nightmare. Local shamans call it Chinay Timpishka, which translates to boiled with the heat of the sun. And yeah, that is an incredibly ominous name for a terrifying stretch of water. So just how hot is it? Over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 93 degrees Celsius. Think about that for a second. That is a steaming, roaring river right in the middle of a lush forest. If any small animal or insect loses its footing and drops in, it's cooked alive within seconds. But here's the crazy geographic anomaly that makes this so baffling. 400 miles. Geologically speaking, boiling rivers like this usually only exist near active volcanoes, but Chinay Timpishka, it's located over 400 miles away from the nearest volcanic center. By all known logic, it simply shouldn't exist here. So how exactly is this natural cauldron boiling? Well, the current working theory suggests deep geothermal faults are shooting scalding water all the way up from beneath the Earth's crust. But the exact subterranean plumbing system capable of driving that massive amount of heat to the surface, that remains an entirely unsolved puzzle. Section 3. The Underground, Parasitic Nightmares and Twin Rivers. Because the Amazon's mysteries are also microscopic, we have to talk about Ophiocordyceps, the zombie ant fungus. The life cycle of this thing is terrifying. First, it infects an insect. Then, it literally takes over the host's central nervous system, basically driving it like a vehicle. It forces the insect to climb and clamp onto a leaf in a fatal death grip. And finally, a spore-filled stalk erupts right out of the host's head to spread the nightmare even further. It just lives, silently, hidden inside mosses, just waiting. And as if parasitic zombie fungi weren't enough, consider what actually lies below the water. Everyone knows the Amazon River, right? The world-famous, massive surface-level flow. But directly beneath it is the Rio Hamaza. It's the Amazon's hidden twin. It's just as long, but it is this completely dark, subterranean river slowly oozing through deep underground rock formations. Get this, 13,000 feet.
That is how far beneath the surface of the Amazon River the Rio Hamza lies. It's a massive, dark, underground world flowing continuously, totally hidden from human eyes.
Section 4. The Shadows, the Uncontacted Tribes.
Panning back up to the surface, into the deep, totally uncharted zones of the forest, we find the most compelling human element of all these mysteries. There are more than 100 uncontacted indigenous tribes currently living in the Amazon. These are human beings who survive, day in and day out, isolated from modern civilization, in an environment that would likely kill an unprepared outsider in mere days.
We are talking about completely unknown languages, entirely undocumented histories, and untold oral legends. These isolated groups hold the deepest secrets of the jungle. They know what lies in those uncharted zones, and their knowledge is entirely separate from our modern world.
Section 5. The Unknown. The Frontier Remains.
Think about this crazy contrast for a second. We have mapped the surface of the Moon and Mars out in space with incredible pinpoint precision. Yet the Amazon floor remains one of the darkest, most uncharted corners on our very own planet. With every passing year, new technologies prove that we have barely even scratched the surface of what's truly out there.
So I've got to ask, which of these Amazon mysteries surprised you the most? Was it the massive lost cities hidden by the canopy, the river that literally boils, the subterranean Twin River, or the zombie fungus? We are constantly learning that our world is far more mysterious than we give it credit for. Drop a comment below, keep engaging with the information, and stay curious.